Marco Reus gets the shot off and we've scored. Let's go. Marco Reus with a brace to put us 2-1 up against Hoffenheim. Still Hakimi finds Paco, gets the shots off, and that is brilliant from Paco Alcacer. How has he managed to pull that off? He controlled it with his chest and then just volleyed it home. That's one of the best goals we've scored in this series so far. Paco Alcacer. Hey guys, how's it going? It is S2G and welcome to the 4th episode of the Borussia Dortmund Career Mode series. Today's episode, we've got probably our biggest test of the season so far, a Champions League group stage game against, of course, Atletico Madrid. Now, Atleti have also gotten themselves 6 points out of 6, so this is a big game and potentially could decide who finishes first in the group. And also, this is a Champions League game being played at home, which means, as you guys know, we've got an objective to avoid losing at home. So I'm hoping we can, of course, avoid losing against a very good Atletico Madrid side. We've also got Bundesliga action in today's episode. I want to try and win all the games in today's episode so that we can stay at the top of the Bundesliga. We've got like 4 games again in today's episode, so it should be a pretty fun one. If you guys are enjoying this Dortmund career mode, I'd really appreciate you guys dropping a like on the video. Let's smash out 700 likes for an episode tomorrow. I think that's a fair ask. Subscribe for more FIFA 19 career mode content and let's get this started. Let's start off the episode with a press conference, and as always, if you guys want to get involved, make sure to drop in your questions down in the comment section below. First question of the day: could the Frenchman Anthony Martial be a possibility of strengthening your attack in the next transfer window? Honestly, I'm not so sure about that. We've got Memphis Depay, we've got Marco Reus who can play in that position. We've also got the youngster Larson. It's just not needed. I mean, we've got quality players already in the team. Even Jadon Sancho and Pulisic can do a job down the left. We've also got Alcacer and Paulsen up front. Maybe in the future, but not this season. We don't really need Martial, and we also don't have the money because he's a player that could cost us well over 60 million euros. Next question: what do you think about people telling you to get a new goalkeeper as Berkey's getting old? Honestly, I don't see why these comments are popping up everywhere because we don't really need a new goalkeeper, at least for now. Berkey's doing a good job. He's been really good so far for me, and apart from that, he's only 27. I mean, 27 for a goalkeeper is pretty young, so I don't think we'll be signing a goalkeeper anytime soon. We've got way too many other problems in different positions to, investing in a goalkeeper right now. I'd rather maybe bring in another centre mid or a striker or a centre back instead of going for a goalkeeper. So yeah, I don't think we'll be replacing Berkey anytime soon. Now this question is a bit controversial. You've wasted money on Paulsen. You should have sold Toprak and should have bought a class centre back like 84 plus rated to carry your defence. Now I don't think the Paulsen deal and maybe bringing in another centre back deal would be connected. Like Paulsen we brought because we sold Philip for a good amount of money and we basically used all that money to bring in Paulsen. If we would have received an offer for Toprak, I would have considered it, but an offer just didn't come. And if we do get an offer in the upcoming transfer window, I will consider it. But I've been really convinced with Toprak so far. The games he's played for me, he's been really good. I mean, 5 clean sheets while Toprak's been in the team. He's been really good, guys. We don't need to sell him, at least for now. Maybe we'll look to, sell him in the winter transfer window, but who knows. So far, I'm really happy with Toprak. And that is that for today's press conference. Let's move on. For the second time in a row, Paco Alcacer has managed to win the Player of the Episode award. He scored a wonder goal in the last episode in the Champions League, and overall he's been superb for us, scoring goal after goal. One of our top scorers this season with 4 goals. He just continues to impress, and I'm really hoping he can keep up this form. He's turning out to be one of the best players in the team, which is something I did not expect. Let's hope he can keep up this form. But there you go, Paco Alcacer wins the vote and is your Player of the Episode. A quick season goals update. I'm really looking forward to potentially keeping a few clean sheets in today's episode, and also we've got to avoid losing to Atletico Madrid, otherwise we could fail the European Nights objective. And also, of course, a few goals and assists from Marco Reus, and of course Jadon Sancho will be really helpful. And also I've made a big change to the dead ball specialist challenge. I've made it score a total of 5 free kicks with any players basically, but now we've got to score 7 free kicks, so we've already scored 1. I've made a slight change to that objective because I've seen a lot of comments asking me to do it, because keeping it exclusive to Royce or Depay is just too difficult because of how rare free kicks are given to me. So yeah, that's a small change I've made. Hopefully it's fine with you guys. We already scored one free kick with Götze, so that's pretty good. But there you go, that is the season goals update. We are top of the Bundesliga so far. We've been very impressive this season in the league. 5 wins and just 1 loss so far. That's actually pretty good. We've scored 11 goals, equal with Stuttgart for the most goals scored this season. 15 points, 1 point above Wolfsburg. We do have a game in hand over them. And in today's episode, we do have some tricky games. I mean, Stuttgart is a big game for us because they're doing so well in the league. But I feel like we should be able to win all the games that we are going to play in today's episode. Augsburg, Stuttgart and Hertha. But for now, let's focus on this one against Augsburg and start off the episode with a win. Here we freaking go, guys. Time to face Augsburg in our first Bundesliga game of today's episode. And I just realized that a lot of our first team players just aren't fully fit, like Marco Reus and all. So I decided to give them a rest for this one against Augsburg. So this is a big opportunity for the likes of Poulsen, Mario Götze, Pulisic, Dahoud and all. And I'm really hoping they perform. 3 points is something I really want from this game. Could be a chance for Augsburg. They whipped in the cross. It's a good ball in. And Finnbogason with the shot there, the header I should say, almost scored for them. Thankfully we got lucky. My god, man, we would have conceded there if not for the post. Pulisic. Now Weigl, that's brilliant. Crossing this one in. This should be a goal. No, how is he not managed to win the header there? Although now it's Memphis Depay. Gives it away. We should have really scored then. It's half time, 0-0. Second half, we need to be better. We've struggled to create chances against this Augsburg side. Well, guys, Depay's stamina right now is really low, so it just makes sense bringing him off. So I'm going to bring on Marco Reus for him. And also, Yusuf Poulsen has been very disappointing in this game, so Alcacer comes on for him. What? How's he getting pushed off so easily? That's just bullshit. Now, they've got the attack. And they've almost scored. Thankfully, Berkey made the save. That's exactly why I don't want to sell Berkey. But how was Royce getting bullied so easily? This game makes no sense at times. And there you have it, guys. A disappointing game of football. I mean, there were barely any chances in this game for both sides. It was just appalling. The quality of football in this game was just non-existent. And there you go. It's a 0-0 result. A draw for us. We've dropped a couple of points. Yes, we used our second team. But still, man, I feel like it's 2 points wasted. 2 points dropped. I'm hoping we can pick ourselves up from this result because we've been playing far better football than this in the last few games or so, and we need to find that form again because this was just horrible. I mean, what a boring game of football. It's good to see that even though we dropped points against Augsburg, we are still top of the Bundesliga. 2 points above Hertha, 2 points above Wolfsburg as well. We've got 16 and our next game is against Stuttgart. This could be a tricky one because if I'm not wrong, the first 4 games of the Bundesliga, Stuttgart won them all. And guess what? They lost the next 3 games. So I'm confident with myself. I feel like we can beat Stuttgart. I'm going to make a few tactical changes because I feel like we are struggling to create chances, at least in this episode, so there's something to address there, but it's good to see that we are still top of the Bundesliga. As I said, I am going to be making a few tactical changes, and those are to give instructions to Memphis Depay and Jadon Sancho to stay forward, and our striker to stay central, because I just feel a lot of the time Memphis Depay and Jadon Sancho, or the wingers in general, just drop back and start defending way too often. We've got Mendy and Hakimi to do that. We don't need Depay and Sancho to do the defensive work. We need them to go forward, create chances, and that's why I've given them these instructions now. So I'm hoping we see a difference. We've actually got a big decision to make here against Stuttgart in, of course, the Bundesliga. This is actually a big game. We dropped points in our last game. We're now facing a decent opponent. We've got to try and get all 3 points as this is away from home. Our next game, though, in a couple of days is against Atletico Madrid, and if we use our first team in this one, players won't be fit for that game, but you know what, I'm taking the risk. I'm using my first team against Stuttgart, and I'll probably use my first team against Atleti as well, even though the players will be on less fitness. We'll rotate after that, so I'm focusing on both the Bundesliga and the Champions League, so let's hope it works out. Let's try and get all 3 points from this game. Finds Memphis Depay, inside to Paco Alcacer. Still Alcacer does really well, finds Jadon Sancho, gets the shots off, but it's blocked. The amount of blocks we see in FIFA 19 is crazy. Like, look at this. Sancho tries to get the shot off, sliding in. Pavard with the block. So frustrating. Corner for us. Maybe Alcacer can score with his head. Or maybe, oh, Delaney hits the crossbar. That's so frustrating. But now here's Marco Reus. Another chance maybe. Cross played in. They get it away. Marco Reus now. Look at the amount of players just marking Royce. Okay, we got space. We've gotten some space to score. And there you go. Paco Alcacer finds Memphis Depay, who puts it in. I was literally going to complain about how Stuttgart are literally just parking the bus. But somehow we've gotten through their defense. And it's, of course, Memphis Depay who scores his 5th goal of the season. And Borussia Dortmund are into the lead in this one. Look at that. I mean, the amount of players Stuttgart had in the box there, but we somehow managed to break through. Memphis with a brilliant finish with his weak foot. I'm really surprised at how good Memphis Depay's left foot actually is. He scored quite a few goals with his left foot for us, probably more than his right foot, so that's actually pretty impressive. But what a signing it has been. He's really performing for us this season. Stuttgart on the attack now. It's SY down the wings. Toprak literally got done there, but Akanji to the rescue. I'm just so impressed with Akanji. He's turning out to be one of my favorite centre-backs in FIFA 19 as he puts in another block there. I'm making 3 changes. Mario Götze on for Royce, Pulisic on for Sancho, and Yusuf Poulsen on for Paco Alcacer because I want those guys fit for that game against Atletico Madrid. Oh, big chance for Delaney. He got so lucky there and Delaney puts it in. I wasn't expecting the ball to reach Delaney in that situation, but he got there. He was super lucky, but he really took his chance. A good finish there from Delaney. A lot of chaos at the back for, of course, Stuttgart. That's a goal literally just given away to us, but I'm happy. 2-0 up, and I guess this game is done and dusted. A bit of a dull game, I must say. Not many chances for both teams, but when we got our chances, we took them, and I guess that was the difference between the both sides. 3 points in the bag. I'm really glad that we're back to winning ways after that result against Augsburg, dropping points against them. We've now kept 2 back-to-back clean sheets in the Bundesliga in today's episode itself, which is really helpful for our objective. But guys, up next, it's a huge game. Champions League against Atletico Madrid. Let's first have a look at the Bundesliga table and then get into some Champions League action. We remain at the top of the Bundesliga with 19 points. 2 points above Wolfsburg and of course 5 points above Hertha Berlin. And also look at Bayern Munich. Their struggles continue this season. They're only in 6th place and they've lost 4 games already in the Bundesliga, which is really interesting to see. Let's have a look at the relegation zone. Nuremberg, Frankfurt and Mainz. I guess the teams you'd expect to see there in any normal career mode. But there you go guys, first in the league so far. For now though, let's focus on the Champions League. This is such a big game guys. It's Borussia Dortmund versus Atletico Madrid. I guess the team that wins basically secures qualification to the round of 16 and a very good chance to finish first in the group, and we need that guys. I desperately want to try and finish first in the group as that gives us a reasonably easy draw in of course the round of 16 of the Champions League. So this is massive guys. We know how good Atletico Madrid are. They've got some world-class players. Both teams have gotten themselves 6 points out of 6 so far. This is a huge game in the series. Before we hop into our next game, I thought it's only fair that we give credit to Manuel Akanji, who's probably been our best defender this season. He's been unreal guys. 9 games played, 7 clean sheets. And also if you look at his stats, there's a reason why he's so good at this game. I mean look at this. He's got 87 sprint speed for a centre back. That's insane. And he's strong as well. 84 strength. He's 6'2". He's got great stats all round and I really enjoy using him. And look at this guys, he's even good on the ball. This guy is like the perfect centre back for me. Probably one of the best centre backs I've used in FIFA 19. Okay, so this is interesting. I've seen quite a few comments about this. A lot of you guys have been telling me that Dortmund actually used this alternate kit in the Champions League. Can someone let me know what the story behind this is? Because, I mean, both the kits are basically the same apart from the shoulders. What's going on here? Why do they have 2 different kits that look basically the same? But anyways, as you guys want me to use the alternate kit, I'm doing exactly that for this game against Atleti. Wait a second, I don't know how my full team is fit for this one. That's incredible guys. I guess we had a 3-day gap instead of a 2-day gap, which really helps. So no issues at all. I'm glad we used our first team against Stuttgart. We now get to use our first team against Atleti. Alcacer, Marco Reus, Depay, Sancho all start. And it's time guys. Borussia Dortmund versus Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. One of our biggest games of the season so far. Let's try and get the 3 points. So this is the Atletico Madrid we'll be facing. They've made some new signings. I can see that. They've got a good bench as well with Morata and all. Vertonghen, that's an interesting one. Godin as well. Saul, Griezmann, Diego Costa. So the only real difference to that team from real life is that they've got Vertonghen at the back. So that's a big change. This Atletico Madrid side looks good. Diego Costa is going to cause us a lot of problems. You guys know how much I struggle with, crosses. But we've got Akanji at the back, so I'm sure he'll deal with that. Oh no, they've taken the ball away from me. Saul gets the shots off, and that is a belter of a goal. I mean, what a strike from Saul there. The power behind that. I mean, there you go. That's Atletico Madrid at their absolute best, and they have now scored at the Signal Iduna Park. And you know what? I can't even complain, because that was a golazo. That's what you call a golazo. I mean, what a strike from Saul. We've got to have a look at the replay of that. As I give the ball away in just awful fashion. Diego Costa gets it. Griezmann lays it off to Saul. Left foot, bang. I mean, the way the ball just curled towards the bottom left corner was brilliant. Nothing bad to say about this goal, guys. We're 1-0 down. Paco. We're back to Delaney now in a great position. Gets the shots off and off the crossbar. That's so unlucky. Delaney has been really good in this episode. He's so unlucky, though, that he couldn't score here. Honestly, guys, Atletico Madrid plays such a rubbish brand of football that just pisses me off. Like, they've got 8 players at the back just waiting to, get the ball off me. And then they just pump it forward to Costa. And then they counter-attack. And then they, of course, score. It's so anti-football and it's so annoying. I know this is what they do for the most part in real life as well against big teams. But on FIFA, it's just annoying to play against. Finally, we might have a chance, though. Here's Sancho. Where's Alcacer in the box? He's not in the box. I want to play an across to him. It's just, I just don't know what to do, guys. I'm struggling in this one. I know what I'm doing is just super risky, going 3 at the back against Atletico Madrid when you're 1-0 down. I know, guys, but we just cannot break down their defense. They are just having like 8 or 9 players at the back and just countering left, right and center. I just cannot deal with this, guys. We've got to try something different to try and break them down. And maybe 3 at the back could work. So Memphis Depay and Alcacer are going to play as our strikers. Mendy and Sancho on either side. We've got Royce, Witsel and Delaney in midfield. Let's get the job done, guys. Let's try and at least get 1 goal back. You know what? For starters, let's actually get a shot off first. We play the 3 at the back. We risk conceding. And there you go. We've just conceded. Oh, just Griezmann, can you please stop doing that? This celebration just pisses me off. And he's doing it once again. Oh, come on. We took the risk, guys. Look at this clown. Antoine Griezmann probably is the most annoying player in football with all these stupid celebrations. I'm really glad in the Madrid derby, Ramos just shut him up. Such an idiot, guys. Such an idiot. We've bottled this game, guys, and there you go, our objective is gone. This has honestly been painful, guys. Like, seriously, Atletico Madrid dominated us in this one. We could do nothing. Their pressing, their defensive ability, it was just levels above us. That just shows we've got a lot of work to do with this Dortmund side. We cannot be, winning every big Champions League game and all that. We're just not good enough right now. And Antoine Griezmann and his Atletico team were way better than us. We tried changing formation, changing tactics, but nothing really worked for us. Fair play to them. They were the better team. I was really frustrated throughout the course of this game, but yeah, they deserved the win. That's an unfortunate loss and so frustrating as well. We've got to move on from that defeat and pick ourselves up. I know it's frustrating, but our next game is a big game as well against Hertha Berlin in the Bundesliga. We cannot let the Champions League loss affect us in the Bundesliga. 5-point advantage so far over Hertha Berlin. But if they beat us, it could be down to just a couple of points. And this is yet another home game. It's a big one in the Bundesliga. And let's try and get the win and get back to winning ways. Our backup goalkeeper Marvin Hitz is unhappy with his involvement, and I don't blame him. I've barely used him this season. But to be honest, there's literally no reason for me to use him because we've got, of course, Berkey in the team who's fit most of the time. Hitz is only there just in case Berkey gets injured. But you know what? To give him some game time, we will play him in the upcoming cup game that we do have in the next episode. Here we go, Dortmund versus Hertha Berlin. Now, because of that intense game against Atletico Madrid, I'm forced to make a lot of changes in the lineup. Yusuf Poulsen, Götze, Weigl, Dahoud, Pulisic, all in the lineup because of fitness reasons. I'm really eager to see what they can do now. This is their chance to shine now because we need 3 points from this game. It's a team that are 3rd in the Bundesliga. This is not going to be an easy game. But one thing I must say, Memphis Depay's fitness levels usually are always high. And he gets to start this game once again. It's good to see that he maintains his fitness really well in career mode. So that's the team. 3 points needed. Let's get back to winning ways. Also, I forgot to mention at the start of the game, I've made a change to my formation. Not a major change as such. I'm just playing a wider formation because I feel like my wingers just don't offer much width. And maybe this change could help us. Depay Finds Mario Götze. Now Pulisic, this is brilliant. We should be scoring. How has he not scored there? But on the rebound, crossbar, Yusuf Poulsen misses as well. We are so unlucky, guys. We've hit the crossbar 3 times in this episode. Here we go once again. The new formation really working for us. Here's Memphis Depay now. Depay cuts inside, gets the shots off. It's Götze on the rebound and we've missed. I cannot believe this, guys. 2 golden chances wasted in like 12 minutes. How has Mario Götze not scored that? Mario Götze finds Poulsen. Poulsen back to Pulisic. First time. Oh my god, what a goal from Dahoud. I thought it was Pulisic, but you know what? I don't care. Mahmoud Dahoud with the goal. What a strike as well. The link-up play was beautiful. A fantastic chipped pass from, of course, Yusuf Poulsen. Dahoud hits it first time on the volley, and it's right in the back of the net. And that is such a relief, guys, because we've been trying so hard to get a goal in this game, and it's finally come from the man himself, Mahmoud Dahoud. Fantastic volley. Got a bit lucky as the keeper did get his hand to it, but it was such a good strike. And I'm so glad that we're in the lead in this one. I am really liking how this new formation is functioning. And for the second half, I'm going to bring on the big guns as well. Marco Reus comes on. Paco Alcacer on for Yusuf Poulsen. And we'll also bring on Jadon Sancho for Pulisic. The reason why I'm making these changes is because we've got a cup game in midweek. So I'd rather play the second team players in the cup game and have my first team players fit for the next one. Finds Paco Alcacer. Oh, goes down inside the box. That's got to be a penalty. It is a penalty. Chance for us to make it 2-0 against Hertha Berlin. And it's a chance for Marco Reus to score yet another goal for us. Go on, Reus. Please score this. Decent power on that. I'm going left, and there you go. Marco Reus scores for us 2-0 against Hertha Berlin. First versus third in the Bundesliga, and we are performing. I'm glad I brought him on. That really helps us with one of our objectives. 2-0 against Hertha Berlin. Free kick for us in a fabulous position. A chance for Marco Reus to score and help us with our objective. Let's see if this can go in. I've put in good power. Reus with the free kick. Reus with the goal. Let's go. 3-0. That's our second free kick goal of the season. And it's come in the 4th episode itself. I wasn't expecting to score 2 free kicks so early on in the season. Marco Reus, what a free kick. Have a look at that once again. Perfect power. Perfect curl. And there you go. No chance for the keeper. That was a satisfying goal to score, as Dortmund now lead 3-0 against Hertha Berlin. And there you have it, guys. A big win for us against Hertha Berlin. The substitutions just killed this game off. I mean, 1-0, it was a competitive game at halftime. But then we brought on Marco Reus, Alcacer and Sancho. Marco Reus, as a super sub, scored a brace for us. That's actually incredible. He's been superb in this episode. And there you go, guys. We get the job done at 3 points in the bag and also 3 clean sheets in the Bundesliga this episode. That's amazing. Well, Dahoud has suffered a bruised shoulder. Here they come, guys, the injuries. But thankfully, this one isn't too serious. He'll only be out for the next 5 days. So he'll basically miss just the cup game, which I guess isn't that bad. Next episode, we've got the cup game against, of course, Ingolstadt, which should be interesting, but I'm fairly certain we'll knock them out. And also we've got Wolfsburg and Bayern Munich along with this game against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Now we go to the Calderon, in fact not the Calderon, the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium, and we've got a chance to take revenge, guys, and I'm hoping we do. So next episode's gonna be an insane one with some quality games. Before we end off the episode, I thought we'd take a look and see how our players are growing this season. So we've got the French defender Zagadou here. He's growing well. He's gone up by 3 already. Nice to see. Akanji now 83 rated. He's going up tremendously in his overall, which is great to see. His defensive stats going up. His physical stats going up. Just perfect. Sergio Gomez, I'm going to use him in that cup game. He's gone up by 2 as well. Great to see. Larson up by 2. Sancho up by 2. Götze, Toprak, Delaney up by 1. A lot of players gone up by 1 like Dahoud, Pulisic. That's nice to see. Even Wolf, who I've barely used. I might give him a go in that cup game. And of course, a lot of players retaining their overall, like Depay. I'm surprised Depay hasn't gone up by his overall. Maybe he will go up soon. Reus still the same. Good to see Reus isn't going down in his overall at this age. That's nice to see. And do we have any downgrades? We have one, Lucas Piszczek. So that's how player growths are looking like. Season goals update to end off the episode. It's been a rocky episode for season goals. Clean sheets wise, we are now up to 6 clean sheets out of the required 15. So that's impressive. but we did lose that home Champions League game against Atletico Madrid, which means once again we failed the European Nights objective. You guys know that if we fail to complete at least 3 out of the 6 objectives, we're gonna have to do a forfeit. So we already failed one and it's not looking good. Marco Reus now up to 9 goals and assists this season, which is great. 2 free kicks done out of the required 7, and we've assisted or scored 3 goals with Jadon Sancho. So not bad. We've made good progress with our season goals, but at the same time failing the European Nights one is a bit frustrating. A quick look at the Bundesliga table before we end off the episode. Still top of the league with 22 points, 2 points above Wolfsburg, who we'll be facing in the next episode, and also 7 points above Bayern Munich, who are now finally in the top 4. Next episode's going to be intense because we face both Wolfsburg and Bayern Munich. Before we end off the episode, time for you guys to vote for your informed player of the episode, and your nominees are Akanji. He had to be nominated. I thought he was brilliant throughout the course of this episode, helped keep 3 clean sheets in the Bundesliga, and overall was just superb at the back. And your second nominee is going to be Mahmoud Dahoud. He's injured right now, but he was superb in that final game against, of course, Hertha Berlin. A goal and an assist as well from that midfield role, and even in that first game that we played, he was decent, so he gets the nod. And you guys can click the I button on the top right of your screen to vote for either Akanji or Mahmoud Dahoud. And that's that for today's episode. If you guys have enjoyed this one, I'd really appreciate you guys dropping a like on the video. 700 likes, you guys get an episode tomorrow. Simple as that. Subscribe if you're watching my content for the very first time, and I shall see you guys very soon for another episode of the Dortmund Career Mode series.